All right, once we got 4/4 time down, 4 beats per measure, quarter note gets 1 beat, we can look at the base 4 note tree, which we have right here. Base 4, because 4 is in the bottom of your time signature. So we start at the top with the whole note. Whole note because it takes up the whole measure, which we know is 4 counts. So whatever this is in your time signature, that's what that gets. So in this case, 4, right? 4 beats in a measure, whole note is a whole measure, that's 4 counts. Or like that, okay? Now, break it down. If a whole is 4, half of a whole, slice that in half, you have 2 half notes. Half of 4 is 2. Each one gets 2 counts because they take up half the measure. Measure is 4, half of 4 is 2, half note. Two counts each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Break it down one step farther. Whole 4, half 2, half of a half is a quarter, or 1/4. And we already know from our time signature, 4 on the bottom, 1/4. But these each get 1 count. Okay? It's called a quarter note. Finally, or not finally, because there's more to this we'll get through later, but for right now, eighth notes, each time we cut it in half. So if we cut a quarter note in half, half of a quarter note is 1/2 beat, or an eighth note. Okay? Each one is worth a half beat. And the reason they're grouped together like this, see how they're beamed together? Because 2 of them together equal 1 beat. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. So these 2 notes take up the same space as that. And they go on through. So together they're 1. Okay? So 2 eighth notes is 1 quarter note. 2 quarter notes is 1 half note. 2 half notes is 1 whole note. Works that way. Goes all the way through. One thing that hangs people up sometimes, they get used to seeing pairs, and they recognize it as an eighth note. Then they see this guy. That's an eighth note. Think of those as pulled apart. If you tear them apart, you'll have that little flag left over. Now, each one of these has a corresponding rest that gets the same number of beats. Whole rest hangs from the line, half rest sits on the line. Quarter rest is that little squiggle. And an eighth rest, a little dot, and a line. So, whole rest, 4 beats of silence. Half rest, 2 beats of silence. Quarter rest, 1 beat of silence. Eighth rest, half a beat of silence. Base 4, note tree. Okay? Whole 4, half 2, quarter 1, eighth half. That's it.